for her questioning, her 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and of course, go Gators, as always. Actually, my questions were asked earlier by my good friend, also from the Sunshine State, Representative Laurel Lee. And so now that we're towards the tail end of the committee hearing, a lot has been discussed. Certainly, I wanted to talk about digital twins, the investments the University of Florida is making. But I wanted to open up the floor to each of our witnesses because I know there's always something that gets left out of these hearings. So I'm going to start with you, Ms. Humpton. If you can maybe speak to some of the things that you wanted to cover or didn't get asked in this hearing yet today.
This has been a phenomenal conversation, and I'm looking down at my notes of things that I wanted to make sure we covered, and I'm coming up empty. Thank you for making sure that we have a comprehensive dialogue. I think the thing that I hope we all leave with today is that industrial AI is different from consumer AI. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you for all the work that you do on digital twins. It is absolutely revolutionary, and I'm very excited for the possibilities of digital twins in multiple different industries and sectors. So thank you. Mr. Kinder, I know Representative Laurel Lee, she mentioned the University of Florida and the College of Engineering. Anything that you wanted to add as part of your response to her question or expand on that? I should clarify a little bit more specifically, the importance of R&D and the investments that we have to make at the university level in order to continue pushing this type of technology.
Yes, I think we, thank you for the question, Congresswoman. We're very excited about the Florida partnership. Yes. I think it's going to launch this fall, I believe is the plan, for the degree program. We think bringing manufacturing techniques to the building sector will revolutionize how we build, especially housing, you know, of which there's a critical shortage in the U.S. Our software, the training we provide, teaches students how to reduce those costs by 50%. And this is where Autodesk brings together both manufacturing and architecture, engineering, and construction. We partnered with a modular construction company in Oakland, California, to design more than 300 AI-enabled affordable housing units at about half the cost and half the time and half of the waste in the process. So we're very proud of that and look forward to working with and partnering with universities to further that type of research.
And along with that, in Congress, we're doing everything we can to make sure that the regulatory environment doesn't trip everybody up as we're innovating, and you guys are doing so much more with half the cost and half the time. We need to do it with half the regulations. So this is my shameless plug for the REINS Act right now, but thank you for that. Dr. Reynolds, I saw you flipping through your notes to make sure that there was nothing that you hadn't missed. Was there anything that you wanted to cover that we haven't touched on today?
You know, I might just reinforce a few points that I think have been made today. The first one I want to make is a sense of urgency. I think that we have an understanding that we really need to do a collaborative project here. This is going to take government, it's going to take industry, it's going to take academia, it'll take the civil society. But we have an urgent moment here because I think the U.S. is at an inflection point. And we have done so much over the last few years to rebuild this manufacturing base, to build momentum. We now have hundreds of new facilities being built. We have a whole new crop of manufacturing startups that are really changing the face, particularly in AI. All of that momentum must continue. And if we can get aligned and ensure that we don't have too much disruption or changing of the rules midstream, I think that we are really going to be able to accelerate the work here and succeed with our tipping point. And so I want to also just emphasize that that path forward is really an investment in the technology, but it's also the investment in our workers. And those together will help us do this.
Excellent, thank you. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Congresswoman. I think the one issue that didn't come up today that I just want to mention is tax policy. And I realize this is not the Tax Writing Committee, but everyone here is going to have an opportunity to vote on taxes at some point. The expiration of the provision in the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act that allows companies to deduct the investment that they make in research and development in the year in which that investment takes place. The expiration of that provision has been enormously harmful to the ability of companies to invest in R&D here in the U.S. restoring that provision will be kind of the fuse that ignites
Yes.
a renaissance of investment in manufacturing and other industries here in the U.S. So that's the one thing that I'd mention.
Well, and thank you for mentioning that. As someone who represents one of the top biotech hubs and incubators in the world, the R&D tax credit deduction is absolutely important and critical to so many industries. So thank you all so much for your time and expertise today. And the future's bright. I'm so glad that we're not having a doomsdayer conversation today. So thank you. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I appreciate